So check this out. This thing is a little bit of a ninja. Tap down for drive, tap up for reverse, push here for park, and half a push down there gives us neutral. Say I've got to make a 3-point turn here. I click down on this for drive, signal to the right, make my steering input. When it comes time to go back into reverse, I can just tap that stalk because my hand's passing by, turn this way, check my surroundings, go backwards, and then when it's time to drive forwards again, same thing. No need to take my hand off the wheel, just click down as my finger's passing, and off we go. And so you've got this excellent maneuverability all without any need to take your hands off of the steering wheel.
The Mercedes EQB is an all-electric crossover with a tall roof and low riding stance that's easy to appreciate on the day-to-day, and I think shoppers arriving from a slammed Subaru Forester will especially appreciate its shape and proportions. The tall roof and low stance work wonders for the driving position and visibility. As well as boarding and exiting, the boxy overall shape looks rugged and distinctive, while optimizing onboard space. But the low ride height means that drivers enter the EQB with a slight drop down into their seat, where even taller drivers are met with generous headroom.
Add in the tall square glass all around and this big sunroof overhead, and voila, it's almost like driving around in your own four-wheeled aquarium. So you can see plenty of tall glass all the way around me here in the front, nice tall side windows, nice tall rear windows, a little bit limited for visibility in the back there, but we do have cameras and sensors to help with that. We've got that giant sunroof overhead too.
The cargo area has an extra low load in height, making for easy loading and sliding in and out of gear and cargo, and an easy jump up for most family canines too. How big is a Mercedes EQB?
About the size of a Tesla Model 3 with about a centimeter separating the two in terms of length and width, although the EQB is much taller. Other SUVs in a similar sizing ballpark to this one include the Subaru Forester, Honda CR-V, and Audi Q4 e-tron.
From the driver's seat, the EQB delivers an upright and alert driving position with generous outward sightlines, all at a more car-like ride height. Around the driver and especially in motion, it feels more hot hatch than crossover SUV, targeting shoppers who want the flexibility and space and traction of a sport ute, but with a lower and more engaging drive. This all-electric version of the Mercedes GLB crossover lineup offers up the same 5- and 7-seat configurations as its fossil fuel-fired cousins too. It's a $1,300 option that Mercedes says is designed for passengers up to 5'5". My tester is the $75,700 EQB 350 4Matic with optional third-row seating for $1,300, intelligent drive package for $3,500, and the $5,000 premium package, making for a highly equipped example whose ask clocks in at $85,500. In exchange, drivers get a 70.5 kilowatt-hour battery with dual electric motors. That's good for 288 all-wheel horsepower and 384 pounds of torque. That setup delivers 0 to 100 kilometers an hour in about 6 seconds and a range of 356 kilometers. The premium package dresses up the cabin and fits an extended list of options that help elevate the driving experience, and the advanced driver aids built into the intelligent drive package work smoothly, predictably, and are confidence-inspiring.
Still, I would definitely be skipping my tester's optional $1,300 third-row seat. I just don't have anyone in my life small enough to fit back there.
If you're planning to spend this sort of cash on a new all-electric, you've got many good choices to consider. These include the Tesla Model Y, BMW iX, Ford Mustang Mach-E, and Genesis GV60. Test-driving shoppers will likely find the EQB to deliver among the more upscale and tech-rich interiors of that list, as well as one of the most comfortable overall drives, still with a 356-kilometer range and fast charging capped at 100 kilowatt-hours. Options abound when it comes to similarly priced battery electrics that can carry more juice and replenish it faster to make easier work of very long drives.
So not to unleash any radical new concepts here or anything, but there are a lot of people in the comments section with very strong opinions about things they don't necessarily understand. And one of the things they like to say whenever you mention an electric vehicle is have fun charging. Now look, actually charging the EQB only takes about 20 seconds. That's 10 seconds to plug it in, 10 seconds to unplug it later, and of course the actual charging happens while you're away doing other things that are a lot of fun. For instance, the other night I charged this up while I was playing Xbox, having some dinner with my friends. You could even charge your EV while you're away driving jet skis in the Bahamas if you like. The point is, on my watch, keeping this charged up at home only took about 20 seconds out of my week.
Reliable fast charging stations are rare in my part of Ontario, and to make my 2 weekly drives between Sudbury and Toronto, most EVs rated for less than about 475 kilometers of range require me to stop and add about 100 kilometers at one of just 2 fast charge stations available along the northern part of my route. In some EVs, this is a 12 to 15 minute job. With fast charge speeds capped at 100 kilowatts, the EQB takes about 45 minutes instead. There is no need to fast charge your EQB unless you're driving many hundreds of kilometers in a single shot, though test driving shoppers should allow for more recharging time than a comparable Tesla or Genesis when road tripping. Still, for most of my test drive with at-home charging available, I was able to handle more than a week of around-town driving and errands before I even had to think of plugging in.
Still, if you'll be parking your EQB for a few weeks or more, Mercedes says it's best to do that with a battery about 2/3 full instead of fully charged so that you avoid deep discharging.
While cruising, the EQB shows off some of its best stuff. Don't let the compact size fool you. It rides like a Benz. For highway relaxation, the drive is exactly what I like. Smooth and gentle, but not disconnected or floaty. It's a nice blend of luxury and sport, comfortable but not sleepy, and more engaging than soft and pillowy. Even rough road surfaces, frost heaves, and sunken-in manhole covers fail to draw much protest from the ride or suspension, and the delivery of consistently good ride quality across a wide range of surfaces is easy to appreciate. The EQB straddles a line between athletic and laid back, delivering good comfort levels without feeling like a road-going mayonnaise clot. Bumps and expansion joints are handled with minimal noise or drama. The EQB subtly bounces over in an up-down-done rhythm that keeps the body stable more of the time. Noise levels are well hushed to the highway speed limit and slightly beyond, at which point they can start to creep up without becoming intrusive. At speed, this machine feels bigger than it is, more planted and heavy than its look leads on. The driver assist tech is an asset during touring too. Radar cruise is smooth and easygoing, and virtually never does anything startling or abrupt. Before long, drivers get a good sense that the system is on the ball, carefully pre-calculating its autonomous inputs to be as gentle as possible. From the driver's seat, this makes for a more easygoing and relaxing ride. Lane departure alerts are subtle but effective, and when the EQB applies steering inputs, they're also gentle and well calculated. Before long, your wrists will feel nicely in sync with the system's steering inputs. The safety and driver aids perform well right down to the backup camera. The graphics are sharp and vivid, the screen is bright and clear, and the camera unit is concealed into the rear emblem, which keeps it clean and clear, even in winter, for a reliable image.
So check this out. When it comes to moving the EQB around in tight quarters or parking lots, this thing is a little bit of a ninja. Let me show you why. First thing is up here where we've got the backup camera system. So when I put this in reverse, let me get you right up close in there for a look at the graphics. Nice clear view on the screen. We've got the standard backup camera here on the right, the around view monitor here on the left. We've got the guidance lines that turn with the steering wheel. So you can see as I'm turning the wheel here, those lines are helping me visualize where I'm going to go. So this camera system is an excellent visual aid to help you move around in tight quarters, but that's not the end of it. Here's some footage of the backup camera out back. It's built into that rear emblem. It only comes out when you need it, and that means it's always going to be clean, even in the wintertime. And interestingly, as much as I've complained about this gear shifter stock being here before, the more I drive the electric Mercedes models, the more I've come to appreciate this. So here's how it works. Tap down for drive, tap up for reverse, push here for park, and half a push down there gives us neutral. You can see how this can become confusing if you're used to a car that keeps its wiper system here. But the real benefit comes when you're making 3 and 4 point turns and maneuvering in tight quarters, because watch this. Say I've got to make a 3-point turn here. I click down on this for drive, signal to the right, make my steering input. When it comes time to go back into reverse, I can just tap that stalk because my hand's passing by, turn this way, check my surroundings, go backwards, and then when it's time to drive forwards again, same thing. No need to take my hand off the wheel, just click down as my finger's passing, and off we go. The other important thing to note there is that because there are no gears to shift, that change from drive to reverse and back is immediate and very smooth. There's no lash through the driveline, no delay, just very, very simple. And so you've got this excellent maneuverability all without any need to take your hands off of the steering wheel. shift back into reverse as I'm coming by, back up this way, and shift back into drive here. All the while, you've got that excellent camera system to keep an eye on your surroundings. Makes maneuverability very, very easy.
Some drivers may find the steering and brakes to lack the precision responses they crave. Even in sport mode, I noted a tiny lag in steering response despite a ratio that's entertainingly quick. The low center of gravity and electric all-wheel drive system work nicely to keep entertainment value high by way of giggly grip, nearly nil body roll, and plenty of rear-wheel power on corner exit to help drivers steer the car with a throttle if they like. The EQB is responsive and gushing with torque, especially at sub-highway speeds. Brake pedal feel was the most consistent gripe on my test drive, however. The brakes lack much meaningful pedal feel, and the switch between standard and regenerative braking could be smoother and more consistent. If you're not shy with the pedal, you'll find fast stops are easy to trigger, but the vague and sometimes inconsistent pedal feel means attempting to finesse the pedal for precision responses can be tricky. Over time, your right foot will learn the rhythm and timing to help compensate. The point is, in many ways, the EQB moves like a rocket-powered all-wheel drive hot hatch, but the driver who likes that sort of thing will ultimately wish for a more precise feel at the controls. Still, the on-demand torque is a source of nearly endless smiles. With 288 horsepower, it's far from the hot rod of the price point, though output is sufficient for confident highway passing and merging, and noiselessly vacating traffic lights in a jiff. The acceleration probably won't make you swear, but laughter is highly likely.
So digital instrument cluster here and another screen here for our central infotainment. We can control what information is displayed to us and how that looks using these two trackpads here on the steering wheel, which you manipulate with your thumbs. This left-hand trackpad manipulates this screen here, so we can scroll left and right to highlight the segment that we want to change. So I've got that left meter selected here, and then I can scroll up and down to change the displayed information if I like. Tap over here to select the middle meter, and scroll up and down for some different options there. Scroll over to the right. Now we've selected the right-hand meter, and scroll up and down for some different options there. And then using the right-hand trackpad here, we can manipulate what goes on that screen there. So using this as kind of a joystick means that I can change my selection up here on the screen, scroll up to get into that upper menu, scroll down here for the main menu in the middle, and scroll down to the very bottom for some additional functions down there.
My tester's vivid digital instrument cluster and central command screen took center stage atop the dashboard, flanked by metal vents and glossy trim and surfaces covered in glossy, brushed or stitched trimmings, to create a thick and detailed forward dash with plenty of visual depth. The bright, sharp screens are glossy but mitigate glare nicely, and the high-resolution graphics mean they're easy to read in the dark, thanks in no small part to excellent control over light leakage from unlit pixels. By day or night, the displays take center stage, looking even more impressive when presented against the backdrop of that rich and curvaceously trimmed dash. Nearby storage is ample, though I did wish for a larger assortment of USB connections and maybe some covered storage up front.
Sense of the cargo space for you here with that third row seat folded down. Got a little bit of storage back here. That's perfect for your travel charger if you like. So to release this third seating row, we're going to pull on the red strap to release it, pull on the black strap here to pop that up, and then pull the headrest up like this. You can see how tight that's going to be for space if I put the camera here. And if you're much taller than about the 5'5" that Mercedes says this is designed for, you're going to run out of headroom here real quick. That's about how much space you've got. We'll flip the other one up here, pull on the red, then pull on the black, then pull up the headrest, and now we've got both. You can see here our cargo space is just reduced to that. There's my hand for scale, so not a ton of room. This is pretty much a standard size backpack, and I don't think I'd be able to close the tailgate with that in there. So having that third seating row does mean that you're giving up a lot of cargo space when it's in use, but I guess it beats walking home in the rain. Then to fold these down, we're going to click the little release button in here, give it a push, pull the red strap to release, down it goes, pull this red strap to release, and down that goes. Plenty of room for my backpack and plenty of room for my gym bag. We've got power close and lock here. Little peek for you at the rear seats. First thing to notice there, that rear floor not completely flat like you're getting on most EVs. Remember, this platform was designed for combustion engines, so we need that little bit of room there. We can adjust the seats forward and backwards this way. Little lever underneath and give that a pull. And you can see that rear bench separates in a 60-40 sliding fashion like this. We can fold down just the middle if we like, as a pass-through like that. So now we've got 2 seats and an opening here. If we want to recline this seat, control right here. Allows us to push that forwards, backwards, or allow it to slide all the way forward. And that gives us our pass-through into the back. But for reference, that's not a very big opening. There's my adult size foot for reference. So a grown-up is not going to have a good time trying to get back there. Fairly light effort though. We can just do this sort of one-handed if we want, even for both seating segments. Push them back even farther with the lever under there. And if we want to recline these seats, it's just a matter of pulling on this strap here and adjusting it however we want.
Still, the most impressive thing about this car's interior is the nighttime drive. Ambient mood lighting sees the most dramatic parts of the interior oozing with punchy neon-colored lighting effects, while the sharp displays glow softly ahead of the driver, and LED-fired auto high beams with excellent reach bathe the road ahead with clean white light. Open that dual-pane sunroof and blast some Clapton on the Burmester stereo, and you're in for a glistening, energizing, and memorable nighttime drive. Though the cabin is full of beautiful things that are nicely assembled, I did note a higher level of creaking and clicking from interior panels than expected, with door panels, the center console tunnel, and parts of the dash and A-pillar trim emitting noises when contacted by a passing hand, leg, or arm.
Well, thank you for watching. I'm Justin Pritchard. Don't forget to hit those like and subscribe buttons down below if you learned something new. And until next time, take care and drive safe. This machine originally hit the road in 2020 for the 2021 model year, and since then, owners and reviewers have been wishing for a more upscale interior and more power under the hood, so that's where Kia focused a lot of the attention for this 2024 model year update.